The way fat acceptance describes themselves is crazy. It's giving greatest showman level of oppression. Your own body is denying you normal life, not your country or your society. Hey guys, it's Jermaine and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Jermaine. I make videos about the fat acceptance, fat liberation, body positive movement. I share with you guys my thoughts in this community and also how they influenced my life back when I was obese myself, believed in a lot of their teaching, followed a lot of their ways, and then somewhere along the way, I changed my mind, I went on the right track, I lost a bunch of weight, and now I'm here making videos exposing this movement. So if you're into those kind of videos, you'd like to hear my take on stuff and all things fat acceptance, then you might want to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And if you're returning to my channel, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being a part of my little family here on YouTube. I love you guys and appreciate you so much. Why is fatness an identity? Like, why do we want to be defined by our body? Why would you ever want that the first thing people associate with you is fatness? Why is being a victim like such a flex? Like, it's something that you can be proud of. Like, if you can create a community of all victims and you guys can just like celebrate your flaws together, that's a flex. Like, that's a good thing. And then you get like articles written about you in your community. Today we're going to be taking a look at a fat acceptance cult in Malaysia, where I'm from. If you guys didn't know, I am Malaysian, born and raised in Malaysia. Yes, I look like this. You're probably like, how are you Malaysian if you look like this? I'm biracial. My dad is from Congo, my mom is Indian, but I grew up in Malaysia. I'm born here, I'm raised here. My mom is actually second generation Malaysian and I'm the third. My grandfather was the first. I'm just getting that out of the way because until today I get that a lot of people asking in my comments where I'm from, what mix am I, and things like that. So I'm just getting it out of the way. So in Malaysia, you would think, because Malaysia is not a Western country, you would think that fat acceptance did not reach here. But no. I mean, cults, they spread everywhere, so no one can escape it unless you live in like a hut somewhere. In Malaysia, we've got our very own fat acceptance cult. They call themselves My Fat Squad because you have to put fat in your name or else I think the organization will not like accept you. You've got like the fat fabs, you've got fat park hoppers, you've got My Fat Squad. Fat is the identity, fat is the flex, fat is their identity, it is who they are. They are nothing more than just fat people because that's what they want to be known as, just fat people. One of our famous newspaper in Malaysia is called The Star, and The Star seems to love this My Fat Squad because I mean, like when you look them up, they've got a bunch of articles with The Star. And so today I thought we'll just take a look at two of it. Okay, one of it was posted last year, one of it was posted just recently. So this is an introduction to the Fat Squad. And the title of this article is Step Up and Speak Out for Fat People. Fat people often stand alone in advocating for themselves and demanding that they have the right to sit at the table or access the most basic things in their everyday life. And that was one of the reasons that 6 friends decided to come together and start My Fat Squad, a fat positive and fat liberation group in 2019. The way fat acceptance describes themselves is crazy. It's giving greatest showman level of oppression. When that's clearly not the case. Like, do you want to be treated like circus freaks? Like bearded women? Because what are the basic things in life that you are denied? As a former obese person myself, only thing that denied me access was myself. I never went anywhere that said no fat people allowed. I never had to demand or beg to be accepted or given an opportunity. I remember maybe being denied jobs that involve physical activity, and that is like, duh. Even if I was offered, I don't think I can do it. It would be jobs that required me to be standing for like hours, or it would be jobs that required me to be like carrying things or do physical. Those were the kind of jobs I used to be denied. And I lived in a there's nothing wrong with me and everyone else is the problem bubble as well. The truth is I could not stand for long. There was no way I was able to carry I was struggling to just carry my own weight with my knee problems. How was I going to be carrying heavy things? Look at this woman right here. Do you really think she could be standing for 8-9 hours a day? Do you really think she can? Your own body is denying you normal life, not your country or your society. Let's continue reading. Our goal is to create a sense of community while advocating for fat people to be protected and given the same rights as other non-fat people. Whether it is healthcare or even finding comfortable seats in spaces such as restaurants, universities, hospitals, or clinics, says co-founder Fariza Ahmad. She's 36 years old. I thought she was in her mid-40s. I just want to say, when you're really unhealthy, it really shows on your face. Like, you do look older. I always wondered, like, where would you draw the limit when it comes to creating bigger seats for people? What would the benchmark be? Like, nobody knows your personal ambitions, like how big you intend to get.
Okay, so this is everything that I ate and drank at the New York State Fair the second time that I went.
What are your fat goals? Maybe they decide, let's make bigger chairs in hospital waiting rooms, let's make bigger this, sturdier that. How do we know when it's big enough? And how about this? Why don't you feel guilty when you take up too much space? When you take up too much seat and other people can't sit next to you, you're probably taking up a seat and a half or even 2 seats. Why don't you feel bad that someone else has to stand because they can't sit down because of your butt? We're victims too. So I work hard to control my bad habits, and those are bad habits, okay? Eating whatever you want, having no portion control, those are bad habits. I put in work to stop those bad habits. I put in work to like work out when you don't want to exercise and you don't want to move, and then I lose the weight, but now I have to suffer too because you take up too much space. How is that okay? I'm a victim too. I can't sit because you get to take more than a seat because of fat privilege. How do you get to be a victim just by giving in to all your impulses because you have no self-control and you get rewarded for that? And you think that's fair? The support of community and having fat allies is important for fat people to find moral support, understanding as they navigate their way in a world that isn't fat friendly, says Fariza, who co-founded the group with Dorian Wall, 36, Ratna Manokaran, 42, and Just Kira, 36. My Fat Squad started as an online space where fat people could find support, encouragement, advice, resources, and friendships. Because who else do you want to be friends with if not other fat people? So y'all can like just affirm each other that y'all are amazing and great and y'all doing everything right and the world is against you and you don't need to control your eating, and let's eat some more as we just complain about the world together. So therefore you have other fat friends, you create a community where y'all just affirm each other about your nonsense. The 6, 2 have since moved on due to work and other commitments. 2 have since moved on because this is a joke. They don't have time. They probably don't have time to keep this up. At some point, you have to go back to your real life and realize that spending hours of your time in a community, a victim community, where we can all just sit and talk about how victimized we are, will get you nowhere and is exhausting. Like, I seriously cannot imagine being in a community with a group of people who are not into like motivating each other to be better, not encouraging each other to do something to change their life, but instead it's a group to just sit around and complain about how society and the government have failed them. How amazing would it be if a group of fat people created a community where they can support each other on their journey to not just losing weight, but just getting healthier. Like, hey, let's keep each other accountable. Let's work out together. Let me know what you're eating. I'll let you know what I'm eating. Since fat people love food so much, well, let's come up with healthy recipes. Let's work out together. We're all embarrassed to go to the gym, so let's do it together so we don't feel so shy. Or even if you don't want to go to the gym, hey, let's go to a park somewhere and work out together, or come over to my house and let's do like a workout video together. Like, I would think it would be so amazing to create a community of people who are like you and you all motivate each other because you're all fat. Like, I would have loved a community like that when I was really obese. Like, I feel like I would have loved a community of other fat people like this who are like, oh, let's go on a walk together. Let's, every evening at 5 p.m, let's all just go for a long walk together and let's keep this up. Let's talk about our struggles when it comes to like eating, what I'm struggling with, what you're struggling with, what are you doing to work on it. I feel like people could benefit from a community, just a bunch of fat people who want to just be better. Be open and honest about your health struggles, share your health struggles with the community, encourage maybe somebody who got better from it, someone who managed to change their life, they tell you what they did. Like, wouldn't that be so positive? Wouldn't it be amazing if fat acceptance, okay, they are called fat acceptance, what am I saying? They're never going to do that. It's called fat acceptance, a club that accepts that they are doomed and this is who they are, therefore the world needs to serve them. I forgot. Honestly, when I was obese, there were no other fat person that were honest with me about their struggles. I feel like if there was a lot of fat people talking about their struggles as fat people and what they were going through, it would definitely inspire me. It is necessary to provide these resources because it's extremely difficult for fat people to even access basic human rights like healthcare, transportation, restaurant and clothing. What are you saying, ma'am? What transportation? What transportation can you not get? You cannot walk into a bus, you cannot fit the doors. What are you talking about? You cannot get a Grab? A Grab is like an Uber. It's like a taxi. You're telling me that you cannot get transport? What, like the cars are rejecting you? bus is like, oh no, no fats, and then the door's closed. Like, what are you talking about? From what I'm hearing, everything that you're saying is your body is denying you this stuff.
Just shut the door. Okay. Ready? I know I can't fit. Okay, put your leg. Can you move over? I can't do it. You want me to try it again? I can't, honey.
You know, when I told my family members that I make videos on YouTube, they didn't know what kind of content I was making. They asked me to explain, and I told them I cover a lot of fat acceptance stuff. And they were like, what? When I said fat acceptance, fat liberation, they were all like, what is what is a fat liberation? Like, they were so confused that this thing even exists. And a lot of these people that were confused are also overweight themselves, and they themselves realized that it's not good for them to be overweight, and they're so confused that people created a community where you're trying to convince me that I'm liberated when I am physically struggling to breathe when I walk. Like, they were so confused that this exists. So I had to show them. I literally like showed them videos. I showed them what I'm talking about. These are older people, older generation. They were like, what? How are you trying to convince me that I am good? I cannot breathe. It's so wild that in their world, this is like, huh? And in my world, in our world, like, this is like a normal thing because we hear it all the time. You realize like this cult has managed to normalize itself. People our age and our generation think this is just a normal thing.
My name is Ratna, and I basically am a co-founder of My Fat Squad and Joyful Jiggle. And My Fat Squad is a fat liberation, fat positive community in Malaysia. And we are basically a group of plus size of fat people, and we talk about like weight stigma, anti-fat biasness, and sort of like fat phobia in Malaysia. And we're just a support group for people who need that kind of community. Basically, like, there was a lot of news around most of the people affected by COVID were fat people, and there was a lot of like negative talk around, oh my god, we're staying at home, we're going to like put on weight, how do we do this? And there was just so much like anti-fat talk that was going on. And we were like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right to us, you know. And so we decided, we were meeting very often online. We used like Zoom, like Discord.
Seriously, how do you not look like a cult? You and your friends sitting down, drawing sexy obese people on a piece of paper and celebrating your fatness. Like, how is this not glorifying obesity? And if you say they're glorifying obesity, they'll be like, oh, just because we accept ourselves and we don't hate ourselves, therefore we're glorifying obesity. No, ma'am. You're not just accepting yourself and not hating yourself. You are celebrating yourself. You're celebrating not just yourself, you're celebrating fatness. You have an entire event to celebrate fatness. On Fat Empowerment Day. You have a Fat Empowerment Day. So you have woman empowerment for women who feel like they never had a voice. They were asked to, be quiet, or like, don't get to speak at the table. You empower them, and then a woman can speak or whatever. What does Fat Empowerment Day do for fat people? How is that helping? Well, let's see what they say. Navigating life as a fat person can be a challenging journey, and being part of a fat positive and empowering community really helps to make a difference, says Ratna, one of the 4 co-founders of the fat positive, blah, 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 whatever. It can be extremely difficult for fat people to access basic human rights. Like, okay, they keep talking about this healthcare and transportation thing. She said it before, they're saying it again. It's like a script that they all just keep on like reciting until they believe it. I've not seen a single example of how you would deny rights or access to healthcare, transportations, restaurants, or clothes. You've not elaborated, okay? Discrimination and lack of access to medical facilities and treatment are among the main issues faced by fat people. You know what discrimination is? To them is if the doctor tells you that, hey, you need to lose weight, you are very heavy, this is dangerous, that is discrimination. And access, what access? Did they stop you and not let you in? I'm guessing it might be that you're so huge you cannot fit maybe like the bed that scans you. What is it called? Like the brain scan one, or like the x-ray machine thing, because you can't fit in it. Again, the machine is not denying you denying yourself. You put yourself in this situation. Often, the moment a fat person steps into a medical facility, they are judged for being fat, and the interaction is focused on their weight rather than the actual medical condition. I don't think that's just for fat people. I've said that before. I feel like that's just for anybody. But when you're fat, it is so obvious, like it's just right in your face that this is a problem. Like a problem has walked in here. And I feel like doctors very quickly just focus on that first. And because there are no laws that prohibit discrimination against fat people, the stigmatization persists. Fat people need to be protected and given the same right as any other non-fat people. I feel like fat people live in a bubble. They live in this bubble where they believe that they are the only people that are going through something or treated a certain way, and they don't believe that other people also go through probably similar things and are treated similarly, maybe not exactly in the way they are treated. I am convinced even extremely skinny, I believe that if somebody who's extremely skinny, a person who looks malnourished, walk into a doctor's office, the doctor is also going to say pretty much the same things, just that the opposite of yours, because the doctor, the first thing they see is, oh, a problem had just walked in. Like, they're focusing on the bigger picture. For example, you walk in with a cold and you are that skinny, the doctor's mind is first thing going to go to, I don't know if you eat enough. Do you have enough nutrition? Because that could contribute to the fact that your immune system is so bad. Like, that's where the doctor's mind is going to go to. So the same thing for fat people. Like, it's not that personal. The purpose of the event is to create a space for fat people to be creative, mingle, and talk about lived experiences, and also to educate about the concept of fat liberation. I sometimes just feel like maybe I should undercover and go to one of these events, but I'm also so scared because I'm on the internet. If at all they watch my video and then I go there and then I get pied in the face. But I genuinely feel like I want to go and see like what really goes on. Like, what are you talking about? Maybe I should find a friend to do it for me. There will be discussions, conversations, and sharing circle on the topics related to fatness and lived experiences. There will be a creative workshop and open mic session, as well as an interactive art session which includes clay art, painting, coloring, and more. Literally, all it sounds like, it's just a bunch of fat people that's just gonna sit around, complain about their lives. Everyone just takes turn to share a negative thing that happened to them because of their fatness, how they're judged, how they're perceived, how they're denied access. And then after that, they just sit down and do a bunch of drawing. The only positive thing about this club, I feel like, is their clothing swap that they do.
And Joyful Jiggle is a business that I started with my partner Alicia, and we basically are a thrift store that does consignment for also plus size clothes in KL.
Because I know to find oversized clothing is very hard. I feel like that's the only positive thing that they do. It's the celebration part that I cannot. The celebration part where you just sit. And I mean, of course, they're going to say what they're going to do. They're going to go on a walk. You think they're going to have a hiking activity or a fat empowerment day where we all go for a little hike up some mountain or some forest. Like, you think they're going to do that? Or a badminton day, a fat empowerment badminton day? There is no way. These people are definitely going to be sitting down, eating and complaining, and then drawing some fat art. And then I'm convinced there'll be like the morbidly obese ones judging and looking at the ones who are less fat than them, while the ones who are not as big as the morbidly obese ones are probably feeling a bit good about themselves because they're not that big, so they feel like supermodels among this group. Listen, I am making fun of these people because this is a joke. I am not making fun of fat people. I am making fun of this stupid community. I'm making fun of the fat acceptance cult. Like, if your identity is fatness, that is who you want to be recognized as. If your identity is the complaining bunch, the people who just sit and love to complain and talk about how hard you have it, somehow you don't want to be treated like disabled people, but at the same time it sounds like you want to be treated like disabled people. Like, I'm so confused. Your community, the fact that you guys are doing this is a joke. I'm so glad that your two friends left and joined the real world, because this is the Lulu. Now check this one out. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. Also, don't forget to follow me on my second channel. I have a vlog channel where I post a bunch of vlogs there, post my life, what I'm eating, what I'm doing, those kind of stuff. So if you're into those kind of videos, you'd like to follow my journey, you can click up here or you can click in the description box below. The link is there. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. The links are also in the description box below. And I'll see you guys in my next video.